BookTube, and welcome to another weekly reading vlog. These are the books I've been working on this week. So I guess I'll start with the comic books because once again that's where I've made my most progress. So Batman Knightfall Volume 2 I have finished off. That was a total of 655 pages. And I've now gone on to Batman Knightfall Volume 3, Knightsend, which, actually I'm not sure how many pages I'm on. The page numbers sometimes display and they sometimes don't here, depending on how much of the page the comic itself is taken up. But this is Batman fighting against his replacement to get his mantle back. It's was a bit of a slow start, but once the action starts, it's pretty action-packed and pretty decent action. I'm enjoying this so far. In the Three Kingdoms, I read nearly 100 pages. Didn't quite get to 100. I read from page 820 to page 910. Now, I've been avoiding talking about the plot of this in the weekly reading vlogs because there's just too much plot to try and summarize. But I've this past week I hit one of the major turning points in this novel and in Chinese history, which is the Battle of the Red Cliffs. Yeah, I think I'm remembering that right. The Battle of the Red Cliffs. So we're still kind of dealing with the chaos following the collapse of the Han Dynasty. But the northern warlord, whose name is Cao Cao, has been gradually consolidating his power and is now going south, where the Southern King and Liu Bei, who's the kind of the protagonist of the novel, but is yet to establish his own independent power base, team up against Cao Cao and defeat him at the Battle of the Red Cliffs, which is this big turning point because now Cao Cao has been turned back and it gives breathing space for these other two kingdoms to form, or in the case of the Southern Kingdom, to consolidate. There's a lot of interesting things going on. Liu Bei has a strategist he's collected called, I think it's pronounced Kong Ming, who's known as the Sleeping Dragon. I guess because, well, actually, it's not really stated why he has that name. But I can guess it's because he's this very brilliant strategist, but he was just living a hermit life up in the village, or a pastoral life up in the village until Liu Bei recruited him. And he's just this military genius who's able to, not only military, but just a genius in general at predicting the future and forecasting how things are going to go. And obviously, without even knowing any of the real history, it's obvious to just a casual reader that there is a lot of romanticization going on here, a lot of folklore being mixed in with the real history. But that's what makes it all the more enjoyable, is what a genius Sleeping Dragon is and how he's arranging everything for Cao Cao's ultimate defeat at the Battle of the Red Cliffs. Now that Cao Cao has been defeated, Liu Bei and the Southern Kingdom are beginning to quarrel among themselves, and we still have not yet gotten to the point in this novel where the Three Kingdoms are actually established. But then again, I'm only still on volume 2 of 4. I don't really have a lot to report from my other reading. I read, I think, 8 pages from the Bible, from page 198 to page 206 in Deuteronomy. So I'm right in the middle of chapter 16 now. But just a bunch of laws and codes, not a lot to report. Um, a number of different plot threads being tied up or advanced in the mirror and the light, but I'm not going to get into all of that for this weekly reading vlog. I'm once again doing my best to keep things short this week, as I have an early morning tomorrow, and it's time to get to bed. And yeah, sorry, I know I say this every week, but this is the only time I had to film after the kids have gotten to bed, and now I've got to get to bed myself. So thank you very much, BookTube, and I will see you again next week.